Hello, good morning. My name is LeeAnne Stout, and hopefully you're joining us to watch the CIS Leads demo. So today, just to kind of give you some preference of what we're looking at, we're focusing today in South Jersey area, like Mercer, Monmouth counties down, and we're targeting this quick demo for paving contractors. So if you're a paving contractor, you supply equipment, you supply material, this is the demo for you. And if for some reason you're not focused in paving, feel free to reach out to me, as well as anyone listening today. You're not going to see every job out there and everything. You're going to get a quick premise of what we're about. And if you'd like to do a one-on-one catered to your company specifically for a few minutes, I'm happy to do that. You can just respond to one of my emails, or my phone number and email are up here if you'd like to reach out. But this is just to give people who have always wondered, what's the local company like, a quick preview. So to give you some premise on CIS, we are a local project lead service based here in New Jersey for the last 32 years. We're started by a civil engineer. His name's Don Colabella. His daughter, Chris, is our president. He was in construction his entire life and was really just frustrated by the national companies out there that don't do a bad job, but they're covering the whole country with surface coverage, versus he would miss a mandatory pre-bid or have not enough time to bid the project itself, missing bid results, or driving down the street and seeing a private job and wondering, what in the world is this? And I didn't see it. I don't know anything about it. So that's kind of where his pain started to start this company. So we cover a really small region. I'll go over the territory. We cover the state of New Jersey and the state of Delaware, the only full states we cover. We also do southeastern Pennsylvania, around Philadelphia, New York City, Long Island, and southern New York State makes up Rockland, Orange, and Westchester counties. Again, if we're doing a territory that we're focusing in South Jersey, Eastern PA, Delaware today, the second, third, and fourth categories. But for whatever reason, if you want to see any of the others, again, reach out to me directly. So that's kind of to give you some background. And we have reporters not only in the office, but on the street hunting it down. And that's what really makes the difference, is the local piece. So what I'm going to do today is walk you around the homepage. We'll dig into the project information and go from there. So my desktop is your home screen. No matter where you are on the website, you can click this button to bring you back to the main page, because as these buttons over here will stay static. We have some saved reports we start everyone with, which are these three under the daily feed. We also have a customized reports we can make specific to your type of work and geography. Over in this section is a quick search. Think of this as Google. You're trying to find one thing fast, whether it's a project, a general contractor, or a subcontractor, material supplier, equipment dealer, professional service such as architects, engineers, environmental folks, and then owners, private or public owners. So for example, Wawa Dairy is a private owner versus the township of Evesham, just to give you an idea. And then these are what I call your tracking buckets, which we'll get into shortly. You can track contractors you bid to and against, and you can also track specific projects that you want to keep a close eye on. So we're going to start off with the daily report. So we update our service Monday through Friday. So this report changes every single day. It's just, if you look up here, Wednesday, new and updated report for new buildings, additions, specialty, and rehab, which actually I have to change that for a second to include roads and utilities as well, because we're looking at paving, which is going to include that. Okay, coming back here. So the daily report, again, 1 day's worth of information. There's 5 tabs at the top. There's pre-planning, planning, and negotiated. The 3 outer tabs are devoted to private work for the most part. There will be some public forecasting, but for the most part, this is going to be where your private work is held. Out to bid and bid results are going to be where your public work is. So pre-planning is the earliest stage of private work. Conceptual, sketch plans, zoning, fundraising, very, very early. And for private work, what we cover is all new construction and additions of commercial buildings that are 5,000 square foot and greater. So it's based on the square footage. And then residential 10 dwelling units and more. Now on the public side, it's everything: local, county, state, federal, any shape or size, renovation, new, roads, bridge, whatever. We do it all. So I'm going to give you an example of each of these and we'll do a more customized report. So pre-planning, again, in the earliest stage. So if we were to look at this one at the top in Lewes, Delaware, because again, we're looking at South Jersey, Eastern PA, and Delaware for our purposes of today. With private work, you want to go to the description first. So we actually, before we get to that, we published this today. It's brand new project. So our published dates are always up on the top right. So to find out if you're interested, quickly look at the description, see if this makes sense. So it's demolition of existing structure for the construction of a 4-story apartment building with 31 residential units and so forth, and associated parking. So yes, there will be parking on, or paving on here. If you like what it says and you're like, hey, this is great, then you want to move on to the planning notes, which this just got approved on the 10th. It has some additional work other than the new construction itself. There's a design firm location, kind of typical of how they look. If it's interesting for you, you can track it, and that throws it in the track bucket on the homepage we just discussed. You can also add your company as interested. I'm doing a fake demo under LeeAnne's Construction, but you can actually click, and it'll click through to your company's profile page, which I'll show you shortly. So that is pre-planning, early conceptual. Planning, final approval before the planning board. Both pre-planning and planning do not have GCs awarded yet. GCs are looking at it at this stage. So a lot of times subcontractors are like, why would I care at this stage? You would care for a couple different reasons. One, you can track it early. 2, you can add yourself as interested. And 3, a lot of people will go for the low hanging fruit. Like, hey, I know this contractor. Say, for example, we look at this Winslow. Like, I know this developer, I know this design firm, I know this attorney is my attorney, something like that can kind of get them in a little bit early. What I call the low hanging fruit. Otherwise, you can make some cold calls and go after it. Again, this one was published on 4/18, giving you an example of this section here. Looks like they're building a residential apartment complex, parking, lighting, landscaping. Again, it's an apartment complex. They're definitely going to have paving on here. Because again, this is devoted to paving this this demo today. So this is going before Winslow Planning Board on 9/21. It was carried from June and July. Design firm, again, developer, attorney, location, very typical. You're going to start seeing people add themselves as interested. You can track it, go from there. Now, negotiated is a private bid result, meaning a general contractor has been awarded, but it's in different phases of construction. So like these are in progress, these haven't started, this is a target date when they expect to break ground. These are the towns they're in and the states over here. So if we look at the Trout National, everyone knows Mike Trout and probably have heard about this project. So let's take a look, see where they are. So this one was published by us in March. What you want to do is, again, go to the description. So the GC on this project has been awarded. So negotiated means the GC has it, again, in any phase of construction. On this one, they're actually not releasing who the GC is. But you can see it's a championship golf course and everything. There's a wedding chapel, all kinds of stuff. So there's certainly going to be a lot of paving on this project as well. If you want to look at the planning notes, you can see the golf course and clubhouse are in the design phase, and you can kind of look at the history of when we originally tracked this, and that this Mike Trout and Tiger Woods have announced plans to build the new golf course in Vineland. Work included, design firm, developer, location, again, very typical. Track it if you're interested in it, add yourself if it's interested too. So that's an example of negotiated. And then any of these other ones you can also click on as well, and there'll be the contractors listed, owner, developer, design firm. You can kind of see, again, they're building a massive amount of warehouses, over 1 million square foot. Again, millions of parking spaces will be attributed to that type of a project. Now, out to bid. These are the brand new public jobs that just came out for bid. They're listed in a local paper or online. There's one right here, a road program in Absecon. Since these are new and just came out today, I'm going to kind of click on these. So this is typical of how they look when they first come out to bid. Bid due date and time, owner, design firm information, bid guarantee requirements. Very typical of what it looks like on the first day, because we mirror it from the paper or online and put it on our website. Because again, we're checking local papers, all the websites, getting main papers delivered. But the unique piece of us is the local piece, literally physically picking up local town papers where they hide those bids. So again, if it's a good one, you're going to track it. There's already a bunch of supply companies and stuff that are adding themselves as interested on this type of project. So if you want to bid on this, you can see some of the people who also are interested in helping you. Now this one I'm going to click on just as an example. Again, it's same information, but it's a rebid. So whenever there is a rebid on a project, you can see in the original notes section, the original bid information. Again, this is DOT project in Mullica. And I can click on it and it'll go to the original bids. This bid in July 19th. And you can see, I guess this did not go to a bid opening. But we do list the quantities. And so this is one part of paving contractors really love about our service. We go to the engineer's office to get these quantities. So they will show up day 2 or 3 after the job comes out for bid. We'll start reaching out today to get them. So you can see exactly how much of your work is on here. Is it profitable? Is it worth my time? And kind of go from there. And then these are all new, right? So there's there's a lot of road projects that came out last night. So that's good. And then we can kind of change from new to projects that are updated. So update means that something's changed. Could be one guy's picked up a set of plans, could be a cost estimate was released. It could be a bunch of different things that is causing an update. And if we click on any of these, I'm trying to think of something that would have, just for time purposes, I'll just click on this one. So again, you'll see, I know this is a DOT project, but it doesn't matter if it's a local township project. We list the quantities on all of them. So again, you can see, is it profitable? Is it worth my time? Does it have enough paving in here for me to go after this type of a job? And if there is, 25 pages of quantities, you're going to see all 25 pages, as well as a plan holder list. So these are companies who picked up plans who intend to bid. So if you want to bid sub to any of these guys, you can reach out to them, or they could be competitors of yours. You can also check them out as well. And then the last tab of the daily report is the bid results. So these are the previous day's bid results. You can see this is the low bidder, this is their price. If you want to see, the full bid result, you can click on it to see who got what project. But as you can see, every single one of these projects was bid yesterday, and the low bidder's name is there today. So Arawak Paving got this one. So I can click on this project, and if I want to see the full result, again, quantities are listed in here, and I can see who bid it and their numbers from the project that went off yesterday. This was the 2022 road improvement project on Breakers Drive. And while I'm in here, I can say, hey, well, what do I know about Arawak Paving? I can come and go to their company profile page and I can track them. So this is where you can track your competitors, you can track people you bid to, and you can see what their low bids are over the past 3 years. Most recently was this one yesterday, and then one a few days before. And then other bids are projects that they bid, but they were not the low bidder. So you can see if they didn't bid this project, who got this one instead. And again, I can click on it and see American Asphalt was the low bidder. And again, I can see if there's alternates or deductions or anything else and what everyone's numbers were. So that is 1 day's worth of information on our daily report. New and updated since my last view. This is if you miss a day, you're out sick. Index report is your filing cabinet for public bids. There's 365 public bids out right now. What you can do is a customized report and pull out the ones that have to do with paving out of this report. So that's what I did for time purposes to hurry up for everybody today. I created some customized reports. These are what I call starter reports. So this one is for private work. This one is for public work. So basically, I looked at everything out of that 300 and pulled out the 61 that have to do with, have one of the keywords. And these are kind of some of the keywords that I use. You can search by certification. You can search by geography, keywords, however you want to look at it. These are some of the words that I posted in here. Again, you can meet with me individually one-on-one. I'll spend a little bit more time on this, but you can kind of look through the projects and see the jobs themselves. I can take a look and see this is a job that's bidding today. And again, this is kind of a listing of the quantities. And when you do a keyword search, it'll actually highlight your words in here. So you can quickly get to your part. Is this profitable? Is this worth my time? And kind of go from there. And again, if anyone's like, what is that job? That's a good one. It's actually bidding today, so let's not look at that one. And then we can scroll down initially to the last page is what I would do and kind of work your way backwards with the farthest bidding date and kind of scroll through. And you can see the different projects that are happening in East Whiteland, Mullica, There's a basketball court reconstruction here. So if you're like, hey, I do paving for that basketball court, you again can kind of click on it and see, excuse me, see your words. And again, if this is a profitable job. And I'm just kind of scrolling through quickly here so you can kind of see some of the projects that are out right now. So if you can see if anything looks kind of interesting for you guys to go after, you certainly can, and kind of take a look through these. Again, we can do a more specific targeted report for yourself. And these are some of the most recent bid results that have had your words. If you also want to kind of click through this, and this is when you start with us, we kind of create you 2 different reports to kind of go through the public work and private work if you do both, or just focus on one if you do a couple of different things. And again, you can see the people who are low, their price is not a lot of good stuff over here. Same thing with private work is the first report I did. So you can kind of look through this and you can see there's this road, Orchard Road in Vineland. It's an apartment building. So apartment building, there's 3-story, 48-unit apartment buildings. So probably be several parking spaces, maybe like 24 or so. And you can kind of scroll through each one of these. And obviously there's a ton of warehouses coming out now. They all have ridiculous amount of parking on them. Like this one, 572 parking spaces with 2 warehouses. So this one is in Salem and Oldman's. I can't speak. Again, add yourself what's interested, kind of reach out to the attorney on that if you want, trying to go after some of these private jobs. So this again is the pre-planning stage. Planning has this is just 1 month, by the way. So pre-planning has 18, planning has 60, and negotiate has 47. So you're looking at 1 month worth of private work. There's about 150 jobs out there. And they're all new construction, whether it's residential, they're going to need paving, new developments, warehouses, which are booming everywhere, any kind of these types of storage facilities, Wawas, whatever, they all need paving, just depending on the town you want to look and the categories. So that's kind of your starter reports. And then basically after you comb through those and you track your contractors, track your jobs, you look at this site 5 minutes a day. Now I have about 3 minutes left, so I'm going to really quickly comb over this stuff as well. So tracking projects and contractors. So this is I tracked a couple of people ahead of time to kind of let you know what it looks like. So when there's an update, this is how it will look. So if I click on this one, I can see I'm tracking 7 contractors. They're all in alphabetical order. These guys at the top haven't done anything, but these guys down here have. So if I'm like, oh, Epic, somebody I care about, I bid to this guy, I can click on him and I can go to what is he holding plans on? And I can see he's holding plans on this project and take a look at it. I can also see his bidding history again. The 12 low bids, other bids that weren't low are 25. So he's 12 out of 37, great ratio, and I can see also some of his private work on here too. So I can kind of look through each one of these. And then once I've looked at him, see, it went from 2 to 1, and now he's still in here, but I've looked at his information, so it's cleared itself out. And I can also put notes in here if I say the project's too big, too small, if we're having meetings in the office, you can kind of have a quick note, makes the sticky notes go away. If you're somebody who's on the road, you can kind of track everybody and put it and send yourself an email with everyone's address, and you're going to visit some of these contractors. And again, same thing with projects. So projects, this is letting me know I'm tracking 23 jobs, but the ones that have changed are all sitting at the top as flagged. So I can come in here and say the CTS ready building, who got it, and I can see, oh, Epic again was the low bidder, and I can see that was a really ridiculously good bid, $8,000 difference. And I can see who else bid it. And if I'm like, hey, DeAndrea is somebody I care about, I can come over here and again, I can track that company as well and see their bidding history as well. Last thing to show you is the search section. So 2 minutes left, so I'm wrapping it up. So this search section is a quick search. I'm trying to find one thing fast. Think of this as Google. So I can narrow down the territory I'm looking for, and I can just type in the name of the project. So it has the word pine. I'm looking for anything that has the word pine. If it's Pinehurst, I'm going to just type in this. It's going to drill what I'm looking for. Very simple to search for things, but this is not, I'm not going to type in paving and find all the paving. This is just a quick thing like Google. Fast, fast, fast. Now, GCs and subs will also use this to find their paving subs. So they'll type paving in here, see it populate. and they'll get a list of 248 paving companies. So these companies at the top are incredibly smart because they are sponsoring the category. So no one wants to sort through 200 people, so they're sitting at the very top saying, hey, reach out to me. We also have some other advertising opportunities on the sides of projects. But there in this section, just an FYI for the paving contractors on here, there's a total of 5 positions above the list in South Jersey. There's one left, and it's sold out until someone gives it up. So if anybody's interested, let me know very soon. There's one spot left. And then as I'm on a searchable page, I can also search the next thing. So if I want to search again for a job, a sub, material supplier, equipment dealer, any of that, I can kind of go right to it. There lastly is a sub request section. So our contractors will post requests if they're looking for subs on particular jobs. So you can see the contractor looking, the name of the project, where it's located, and you can kind of say, okay, well, what are they looking for? And it'll give you some information of what they're looking for. So that is that section as well. So just to recap really quickly, I'm right at my 20-minute time right here. So last thing is customer service. We have ridiculous customer service. Our customer service folks are really fantastic. If you have a question about a job, there's actually a contact CIS button here. We can ask a question. Our reporters will start digging into that immediately, and we'll try to get you an answer as soon as possible, but our customer service team will stay in contact with you as to we have the answer right now, or this is what we're doing to get your answer. So we are local, family owned, feet on the street reporting. That's really what our niche is. That's what we're about. We know everything that's kind of moving in this area. So again, if you'd like a one-on-one demo with me, please reach out. I'd be happy to kind of cater this specifically to your type of company, especially if you're someone who's on here from New York and I'm looking at South Jersey, or you're building GC and I'm looking at paving. We can certainly cater this to you. But I want to thank you so much for taking the time to look at CIS. And I hope to hear from you soon about doing a one-on-one meeting with me. Have a great day, everyone. Take care.